Well, why are you interested in water? What happened to you, Chris?
Me, I stumbled onto water by just happenstance. I was researching wellness as a whole, and part of that was finding out about water fasting. And
Oh, a water specialist, are you?
I,
Love it.
I don't know if I would give myself the specialist term, but
Uh,
I'm a lover of hydration and water. And so during that process of learning about water fasting, water being the key component, one of the key components, I came across many different people who were talking about water, and then I found out about easy water and all these other terminologies like you mentioned, structured water and way back water and all these different things, and I realized that they were all talking about the same thing. And I just became fascinated. And the more I learned about water, and I started learning about water memory, and now, like, more recently, learning about how they're using computer chips made with water, and the water producing. And I'm like, bro, this is so phenomenal. So how can you not want to learn more?
right, right. Water is the most sophisticated element,
Mm,
and its molecules, even though they're just hydrogen and oxygen, they can configure in so many different ways that computer specialists are now looking at the water molecule to understand how it stores information,
smart.
because it's exponential, it's quantum, and they're like, let's skip the machinery and just try using water to compute. So it's not that crazy. They're actually using bacteria already to do computing and the way bacteria replicates. So they're watching those patterns, and the patterns of water are profound for us inside our body. So one of the things I also want to share as an anthropologist and water specialist
Uh-huh.
is that we are ourselves bodies of water. And we really aren't thinking of ourselves as a whole. Most people will say, like, they break the number up. They'll say, like, well, your brain's 80%, but your intestines are 70%, or your muscles are, 62.3% water. And those are all accurate, but they aren't holding the whole picture of us as water beings, because we still think of ourselves as an assemblage of things
Right.
and not an essence of being. And we are, in essence of being, water beings.
Mm-hmm.
And if you count up molecules in the body, by percentage, we are 99% water.
Ooh.
So if you just took all the molecules out and looked at each one, because the water molecule is so small, that is what the vast percentage of us are. Now, that's really important and valuable information when you're living in a culture as we are, which is a culture that is very artificial in its environment. So we are a water being, 99% water, taken out of our natural surroundings, which support that, not just becoming from ocean to land, but actually living close to nature, having a lot of vapor around us, having
Right.
a lot of plant life around us, earth and earth electricity and magnetism, plus earth soil storage of water. When you're outside, your water beat. You're feeling it. You're feeling all of the frequencies of water and so forth. But now we live inside, and we live in cars, and we go on planes, and we drink Gatorade.
Mm.
Or just hit me with the scotch. Come on, I'll have the beer, please. And then we add to that things like pizza and lasagna. And I really want to communicate to your listeners, I am not saying, no, don't have that. I'm saying, remember, you're a water being, and let's find adaptive ways to live in our environment. And if you're going to have pizza, go have a bloody apple later.
Mm-hmm.
Go have a salad. Go get an additional hit of water now that you've eaten something dehydrating or have been somewhere dehydrating, like our office cubicles or our schoolrooms or our hospitals, our nursing homes. We've created environments that are deeply dehydrated. Prescription medications Chris, did you know that all prescription medications are dehydrating?
I would have assumed.
They are. And they should be, in what was the old cartoon? You call your physician and they say, take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning. They
That's
really
right.
should say, take 2 glasses of water plus an aspirin and then call me in the morning. That's a workable solution for a water being as we are.
Yeah.
So this is not a all or nothing proposition. This is a how do we experience our better selves by using hydration to help us adapt to the high stress, high volume, high information. By the way, your cell phone is dehydrating. Your computers are dehydrating. This electronic materials frequencies that come from those machines, they interfere with the water's ability to send frequencies cell to cell. So, as your hydration goes down and you're adding more cell phone use, you're hitting really lots of mood and mental health issues at that point. So, hydration is incredibly profound for a group of people who now live in dehydrating environments. But we can't tell people to just keep drinking,
Right. And
how much
that's
do you drink?
right. I never considered the fact that I knew that Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all those different frequencies were bad for us, but I never considered that they were dehydrating. That's very interesting. So I'm curious, just like a question popped in my head as you were talking. Is there a benefit of using something like a humidifier or something like that?
Absolutely. And again, I'm coming from an anthropology background, so I'm always looking for a menu of as many solutions of how other cultures did it as I possibly can. And that's what I want to present to your listeners. And our work, by the way, at the Hydration Foundation is an all-free public service. We've put recipes, we've put strategies and tips, and here's the tip I was going to offer you. Humidifiers are incredibly important. And even if you can't do that, even an open cup of tea on your desk at work.
Ah, yeah, I've heard about that.
Just that, simple enough. Just start to consider yourself a water being, and you're going to be in need of vapor. You're going to be in need of, here's another part about surprise about hydration. Hydration, you take it in through your drinking or eating high vegetables, lots of fruits. Those are specially stored. That's gel water in a cucumber. In a hydration in a watermelon. That's that kind of hydration we were talking about. The part I didn't finish with the story is that I thought it was just cactus plants. It turns out that any plant is this jellified water inside of it. They're so smart. They all do it. They all know. So even green leafy greens like a salad, that leaf is 98% water, but the right kind of water that's been added charge to it, it's back to being able to conduct electricity. So the ways that we can offer thinking about ourselves as a whole system, that you not only need vapor around, you need open windows, you need cups of tea, you need that humidifier, essential oils, but you need to move, because once you either breathe in vapor or you put liquid down your throat, then your body has to distribute it. And the way we get hydration to our tissues naturally is by movement. Nobody talks about hydration being the second half of delivering. So it's important in an immobile society where we're seated in front of our computers all the time, we drive to wherever we're going, that we activate our hydration delivery system through the movement. And that doesn't take much. So the good news about movement is I'm not asking you to exercise. I'm telling you that fidgeting and nodding your head and shifting your shoulders and moving your spine and twidgeting your ankles are all starting this electrical flow of water through your system and delivering the moisture in a broader distribution and the energy. So good news on that front.
So we're not asking you to do anything crazy, no crazy workout regimens, because I have a very unpopular opinion, especially with my brother Jonathan, who's like a fitness guru. But I feel like the gym is such an unnatural place, and
Hmm.
we're like trying to create this environment where we go just to exercise and work out because we're so stagnant in our daily lives and activities. We don't act as like our ancient
Right,
ancestors did, where daily activity was moving around, working. They didn't need gym. So I
right,
tell people all the time, there's no gyms in nature.
right.
I mean, nature is a gym, but there's
In
no
nature's the gym.
gym
Yeah,
in nature. And so
yeah,
it's like we don't want to, nobody wants to go because it's unnatural, except
yeah.
for a couple of gym rats out there. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, however it's accomplished, it's important to move. And so I deal with the elderly a lot, Chris. And, of course, my mother's story, right? I can't help but be especially touched by people who are in wheelchairs or they're immobilized in some way. And one of the things that we share at the Hydration Foundation is that even in bed, you can just move in very gentle ways. So even nodding your we call it the chin to the chest movement. So if you
Okay.
can't see me, you just hear me saying, if you put your chin on your chest, you've just pumped a whole new flush of synovial fluid down your spinal canal,
Hmm.
which is what it's for. It's called the spinal canal, right?
Huh.
And you flushed out old toxins. And when you lift your head back up, you're drawing in hydration from the rest of your tissue, clean hydration into your synovial fluid. Even if you massage your face, you're both draining your lymph glands, and you're also um, moving fluid through your system. Well, whenever you throw a rock in a pond, those waves start
Hmm.
and you get bigger and bigger waves. That happens with any movement. So the good news for people who have mobility issues is that you can really make yourself feel a lot better and get your health up just by genuine, very small movements, by putting your chin to your chest or putting your ear to your shoulder. You don't have to go the whole way, just a little, so that this mobility not only distributes your hydration to your tissues, it activates an electrical field in your body, which then activates healing capacity. So water doesn't just keep you moist. It doesn't just flush out and clean out toxins. It's also an electrical function that gives your body cell to cell communication to orchestrate it and get it all in synergy, get it moving together.
Mm.
That's the new science.
Yeah,
Isn't it
see.
fabulous?
It is because these are the things that I've been talking about, but to be able to have the science to kind of back it up,
Yes.
because that's what we're all trained to,
Right.
what does the science say, what do the studies say? And it's
Right.
like, well, what do you feel like? How do you feel when you drink more water, when you eat more fruits and vegetables and things like that? Like, that's, for me, I love anecdotal evidence. Like, I love like just observing like what's happening, how do I feel? But the science is what a lot of people kind of need to get going, so I'm glad we finally have that.